Red Blazek with my Fire Fist deck profile. Alright, here we go, we're gonna start it off.
So down.
3 Fire Fist Bears, he's the popper, you know, important, very important to this deck. 3 Gorillas, most people run 2 only, but I choose to run 3 because in case of a mirror match, I like to run it so I can get my monsters out quick, get my engine going, search for my spell cards right away.
Fuck yeah.
I run 1 Dragon, most people run 2 instead of the 3 Gorillas. I feel like sometimes he's a dead draw to me, but with, you know, when I activate, I get my trap card right out, Tensin, attack over monsters, get their effects right away. I also choose 2 Reborn Tengus. This card, I was at Regionals this weekend. It put in a lot of work for me. Later in my trap lineup, you'll see that I run 2 Tarantulas. I choose that he's a good card because I can go into Lightning Chidori. I can go into a lot of options with this card. He's a really good card for this format, and he puts up a lot of work with Tensin. He goes up to 1800 or maybe 28, whatever I feel like doing.
Real shit.
I feel like putting in 3 Gen Warp Werewolves. I put him over Vorse Raider because I feel like compared to Deck Devastation Virus, he's not that good. I feel like a lot of decks are running Phoenix Chain this format too, and with him I can just keep attacking directly. He baits out Solemn Warning, he baits out Bottomless, he baits out a lot of good things this format, and I feel like he is the card to have. He can go over Thunder King, which is another popular card this format, and of course the 2 Rescue Rabbits to summon out my Gen Warped. And for now, that's the monster lineup.
Yeah.
Pretty legit.
1 Solemn Warning, you have to run it. It's just worth it. And then the Solemn Judgment for the Solemn duo.
Fuck yeah.
Solemn Starlight Road for that, you know, that hate. You know, people are running massive Tarantulas, people are running 2 Mirror Forces, people are running
Fuck
heavy.
yeah.
It's worth running.
I hate them.
2 Bottomlesses, it's just too good with Solemn at 1, Solemn Warning at 1. You have to run it, you know, it stops a lot of things. When people Rescue Rabbit, it stops their double summon. It's just worth having. 2 Compulsory Areas. I feel like this card might be the best trap card in the format. It stops XYZs. It makes people minus. You know, it's unexpected sometimes. I just feel like it's too good. 2 Tensins. A lot of people just run 1. People compare it to Axe to Despair this format, but I just feel like, you know, with Bear, Gorilla has to actually destroy a monster to search for Tensu. I feel like this card is worth having 2 of because with Dragon and even Fire King XYZ, it's just too good not to have. 2 Mirror Force for the hate. You know, a lot of cards spam this format. It's kind of like I gotta protect my monsters. You know, why not have 2 if it's at 2? 2 Torrential Tributes because, you know, sometimes I can't draw into my monsters quick enough because of a short monster lineup. Torrential stops a lot of main plays that people have, and it's just kind of like, why not again? This goes into my spells. 3 Tenki. The main search of this deck, it's kind of like Rhoda. It can go into anything. It could search Gen Warp. It could search Reborn. It could search my Bear mainly. Gorilla, anything that's important. It's kind of just like, why not? Tensu, 2. 3 gets kind of cloggy. It's not worth having at 3, but it can let you get the extra card out. Maybe go for game. Maybe go for that XYZ that you need. It's just worth running at 2. 3 is just too cloggy.
Turn up!
2 MSTs. I chose to run the 2 MSTs because I had 3. It was good at the time, but Heavy Storm is just worth running over it because at the mirror match, you know, people run a lot of back row. People run a lot of hate. I'd rather have the heavy. 2 Pot of Dualities. This card makes the deck more consistent. If I have a dead hand, I don't special a lot with this deck. You know, maybe I could run into a Tenki, maybe I could run into my Rabbit for next turn. Anything Bear, summon it, pop a Tenki, pop their main card, maybe even Gorilla for the back row hate. It's worth it. 2 Forbidden Lances lets me get my plays through. Say they want to bottomless me, say they want to attack me. Anything, you know, lose 800 attack. A lot of cards can't get over 1700 because, like, I'm assuming Tenki's on the field with Bear. Anything, it's just too good not to run. It stops a lot of people's plays and lets me continue with mine. And then I run the Trinity. You know, heavy, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, staples in my opinion. It's like, kind of like, I was going back and forth with Heavy and on a MST, but Heavy just ended up proving more worth it to me. Alright, let me go into my extra deck. I have 2 Tiger Kings because you can go into him. 3 is too much. You know, you need the extra space in your extra deck. Tiger King lets you get that, you know, if in case you have the 3 cards on the field, lets you get those other bears, gorillas out in the field immediately. Just too worth it not to run, you know, have a Tenson, back him up, he's at 3,200 at the turn, beats over a lot of things. Steel Swarm, my worst matchup would be Chaos Dragons. It stops all level 5 summonings, it's just too worth it not to go for. Hazy Flames, I faced Hazy Flames at regionals, it locked it down, it was just too good not to have. Gaga Cowboy, late game, staple in any deck. Yeah, like my friend said, you go defense mode, you could. I ended up gaming a few people with this card. It's just worth running nowadays. Gemini Pearl beats over a lot of things. Some people choose not to run him and put Utopia Ray over him, but I just feel like Pearl is just better than Ray. Ray is too situational. Abyss Dweller, if I had 2, I would run it because Abyss Dweller is key. You know, you're facing a lot of Mermails decks this format. They just come out, you know, you need to stop them immediately, or otherwise your deck's just too slow for that. Shockmaster. With Dragon, you can go into a Shockmaster play, you can stop, lock people, it's just too worth it not to run. Chidori, only because I run Tengu, return a card to the top of their deck, it's just good. Photon Cooperative, I can't explain it, just too good. Utopia, another staple. Black Ship of Corn. This card has come in clutch many times. People go for Zen mains, people go for Mistroke, people go for cards that stall. You know, get rid of it. That's it for them.
Shit, man.
Mistroke, you know, stall. You can't decide. Defense, 2,300. She's just too good.
Gotta run him for
Stardust Dragon for the Starlight Road, and Cataster because you'll find out later. I side in Effect Failures, and also Chimera Tech. Because I have the extra space, Karakuri's are a factor, perhaps, you know, why not put it in if you have the extra space. Extra deck. 2 Cyber Dragons. I'm probably going to side this out. This is just for now. You know, Karakuri's, there's some machine decks that give you problems, but gadgets, they're coming into a thing. You know, maybe you go into that, you stop with Chimera Tech. Double Veiler, I run him over Max C because I feel like I don't know, with Sam's, you know, you run into a problem occasionally. My deck doesn't find problems. I could pop Shien, get rid of it. It's not too big of a problem to me, so why not run the Veiler? 2 Mind Crush, it's at 3. I prefer it at 2 against the Mermail matchup. You know, they have to show the Meglo. You Mind Crush the Meglo. It's over for them. You know, they have to discard the 2. Perhaps you lose the back row or your monster. It's not a big deal. They end up minusing in the end. Wild Tornado, this is a random tech. Nicky Reardon ran this in his YCS game. I chose it because it's like a dust tornado, but in the mirror match, if a gorilla pops your back row, you know, you pop the gorilla, they can't do much. They lose their monster, but if I had 2 of them, I would probably end up siding them too because it's just too worth it. 2 Soul Drain again for the Mermail hate. You know, you can't let them pop off. It's the thing that I've been running into problems the most, and Dark Worlds also. You know, you just gotta stop them. You know, you can't let them run rampant. It's ridiculous.
Puts in work, son.
Mad work. 3-dimensional fissures, of course, also for the Mermail hate. You gotta stop it. There's other decks that depend on the graveyard, and you know, just getting rid of cards is just too good. I go into XYZs, so I don't lose the monsters I put into the graveyard underneath the XYZ. It's just too worth it. I feel like it's a great card to side in, and 3 because I want to draw into it immediately. And then 2 Soul Takers just to stop, you know, main plays that people have. Gotta get rid of their monsters, gotta get the hate in.
TK.
And, right, like my friend said, Thunder King, get rid of it. It stops people, it stops me from looking into my deck for Tenki. There's just hate, you gotta side it in. It's too worth it not to side in. And you know,
last thoughts.
That's my last thoughts. I feel like Fire Fist, when the next box comes out, it's going to be broken. It's going to be the new windups. That's TeamIndica here. That's Greg Blazek. That's my thoughts on the Fire King deck.
Stay trippy, man.